ప్రభు మీ వెనకాల ఉన్న పోస్ట్ చాలా బాగుంది ప్రభు.
అవునా?
చాలా చాలా బాగుంది.
Playing with it.
చాలా బాగుంది.
You can start the.
Can
I made you. Yeah, you can. I made you co-host. Just see.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today back to 13th chapter. From 12, right? Oh, we finished 12. 14. सर्वतः पाणी पादम तत् सर्वतः पाणी पादम तत्
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्
सर्वतो अक्षि शिरो मुखम सर्वतोक्षि शिरो मुखम
सर्वतोक्षि शिरोमुखम्
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल लोके सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके
सर्वं
सर्वम्
आवृत्य
आवृत्य
तिष्ठति
तिष्ठति
सर्वम् आवृत्य तिष्ठति
सर्वम् आवृत्य तिष्ठति
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत्
सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम्
सर्वतोक्षि शिरोमुखम्
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके
सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके
सर्वम् आवृत्य तिष्ठति.
सर्वम् आवृत्य तिष्ठति.
You can read the translation.
Telugu first.
Telugu, yeah.
నేను చదువునా ప్రభు.
చదవండి.
సర్వత్రా అతని హస్తములు, పాదములు, నయనములు, శిరములు, ముఖములు, కర్ణములు వ్యాపించి ఉన్నవి. ఈ విధముగా పరమాత్మ సర్వమును ఆవరించి ఉండును. హరే కృష్ణ.
हरे कृष्ण. हिंदी.
जी प्रभु जी। उनके हाथ, पांव, आंखें, सिर तथा मुंह तथा उनके कान सर्वत्र हैं। इस प्रकार परमात्मा सभी वस्तुओं में व्याप्त होकर अवस्थित है। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण. इंग्लिश.
मैं पढ़ूं प्रभु जी?
हाँ हाँ, sure.
Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes and faces. He hears everything. In this way, the super soul exists.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So sometimes people think, God is Nirakara Brahma. He has no Rupa. But here Krishna is explaining, no, he has his eyes, legs, faces, heads, hands, ear, everywhere, and he is able to hear everything. So how do you understand this? Like, for example, you are also sitting in one place, one chair in a room. Sometimes it can be a big room, big hall. But just by sitting, even though you're sitting in one place, you can see the entire room. Sometimes if the house is very big, they have cameras everywhere. And then on your screen, you can see. So you can extend that and you can see. But even though you're sitting in one place, you can still see the entire house, right? Like that, you can mute all. Okay. So like that, the Lord can see, he can perceive everything. It is just that we are not able to see his eyes and legs and hands, but because we are very minute, we are so minute, our size is like the tip of the hair, which is divided by 10,000 parts. If you ever saw one of those pictures that they show compared to Jupiter, compared to Earth, what is the size of the Earth compared to Jupiter and compared to Sun, compared to the cosmos. Like that, they have made all the pictures. There are sometimes pictures you see. Earth looks so small, like a dot. Inside that dot, we are like one dot. You can't even measure the dot. We are so tiny. So for the Lord, when he is so big, Virat Rupa, he showed everything is accommodated inside him. So that's the reason he showed his Virat Rupa, to show everything is within him. So he can, this is very mysteriously, he is available to all of us. So we'll go to the next sloka.
Can we understand this point? I have a question. So if we are also having Paramatma in our heart, so
Yes.
each and every person has Paramatma. So he is like one camera. He is. We are all
He
part
put
of
one
that
camera. Yeah, he put one camera in all of us.
Yeah. So through
And
that
then
camera, he doesn't
Yes.
only see, he hears and he feels also. So he can do everything because he has kept one part of himself within each and every Jivatma, along with the Jivatma. Can we understand like that? Is that correct way to think?
You can, but actually it is, imagine your body itself. If your body, anything touches your body, how you are able to feel it? You don't need a separate camera, right? Because the cells of the body, everything can send the signal to the brain, and then that's how you're able to perceive everything. Like that, the Lord's neural network is so huge, the entire galaxies can be contained inside his mouth, just like he showed to Mother Yashoda. Just open the mouth, everything is there just within his mouth.
No.
So
What I
both
meant to
ways.
say, what I meant to say is that the way
You can
the
understand that.
mechanics, how the mechanics, just like sitting in one place, you have cameras everywhere. Because you have cameras everywhere, you can actually. I got that idea through that only. So can we? Maybe I don't know. We have to do more research if that is the right analogy to think like that.
No, you have to somehow break your head to understand whatever way your brain will tell you that logic to make you understand, okay, the Lord is available like this, so you can understand. So Prabhupada gave another example. Even though the sun is very far away, you put 1,000,000 pots. In all the 1,000,000 pots, the sun is available as a image. But the difference is, when the Supreme Lord is available, he is able to do all the functions in all the 1,000,000 parts. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So that is another way. So like that, you have to keep on thinking constantly how the Lord is present. Using
It's a
whatever
meditation.
Krishna is, it's a meditation. It's a meditation.
Such meditation we have to do and
Yes.
understand the philosophy, to the
Correct.
deep as much as we can to our capacity. Try to meditate on it.
Right. Like, for example, we know, all of us know, there are rainbow colors are there. For all the visible light is rainbow colors. There's 7 colors, right? But whenever you are seeing anything, are you trying to break your head to understand, oh, I'm seeing blue color, which means it's a combination of 2 colors? You are not thinking like that. You're just seeing one color. But Krishna explained, but if you are a physicist, or if you are somebody who is into natural physics, or something, who you're constantly doing that experiment, then you want to break it down always and try to understand.
That is only Sankhya Yoga.
That is Sankhya Yoga. That's one philosophy. That's the philosophy. So these are different type of people. So devotees are also different type of people who also want to understand deeply into everything, how things are working. That's how devotees are. Devotees are also scientists.
Should be.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's not that we are not devotees. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the point. That's what I'm trying to say. We have to be devotees.
If you are a devotee, then you will be constantly thinking of these things. So that's the point. So just like the three gunas, everything is this chapter itself is three gunas. Everything is a combination of three gunas. So constantly we have to be looking for the three gunas. How this three gunas? I always want to be in sattva guna at least. If but I have to be above sattva guna. So we are all, social animals. We interact with people all the time. So most of the time, our time is spent with other people. So these dealings, how are they being? Sometimes it is sattva-guna, sometimes rajoguna. What is it influencing? Why is somebody being angry? Why is somebody not angry? Why is somebody depressed? Why is somebody happy? So these things we have to be very introspective. And we should not be reacting for their reactions. Somebody is angry, then immediately you're like a ball. You throw on the wall, you also react like that. So, because we are not introspecting all the time. If you are introspecting that is why the information is given. Krishna is giving this information. You see, in in the last slokas, Krishna will explain why you need to break this down. Why you have to understand what is Sattva Guna, what is Rajoguna, what is Tamo Guna. We'll come to that sloka also.
Okay.
Karya,
Karya,
Karana,
Karana,
Kartrutve,
Kartrutve,
Hetuhu,
Hetuhu,
Prakritir,
Prakriti,
Uchyate,
Uchyate,
Karya Kartrutve Hetuhu Prakritiruchyate.
Karya
Karya
Karana,
Karana
Kartrutve,
Kartrutve
Hetuhu,
Hetu
Prakriti,
Prakrutirujyate
Uchyate,
Purushaha
Purushaha,
Purushaha
Sukadhukkanam
Sukha-dukhanam,
Sukadukhanam
Bhoktrutve
Bhoktrutve,
Bhoktrutve
Hetur Uchyate.
Heturuchyate,
Heturujyate
Purushaha Sukadhukkanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate.
Purushaha
Purusha
Sukha-dukhanam,
Sukadukhanam
Bhoktrutve,
Bhoktrutve
Heturuchyate.
Heturujyate.
Telugu?
అత్తమా
నేను
చెప్తారా?
చెప్పనా?
Chal.
భౌతిక కార్యములన్నింటికి ప్రకృతియే హేతువనియు జగత్తునందలి వివిధ సుఖదుఖానుభవములకు జీవుడే కారణమనియు చెప్పబడుచున్నది. హరే కృష్ణ.
Hare Krishna. Hindi?
रीटा
Can
माता
I
जी आप
read?
बोल. हाँ या हेमा
Yeah,
दीदी यू रीड. हेमा दीदी रीड.
हरे कृष्णा। प्रकृति समस्त भौतिक कारणों तथा कार्यों परिणामों की हेतु कही जाती है और जीव यानी पुरुष इस संसार में विविध सुख दुख के भोग का कारण कहा जाता है। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
मैं
Anybody
पढ़
else?
दूं?
हाँ, English.
నేను చదవనా?
आता चल.
रीटा माता जी इनकी आंटी पढ़ रही हैं, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट वाला श्लोक आप पढ़िएगा.
ओके
लक्ष्मी आंटी रीड करिए.
Okay. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
So, this is
Hare.
Hare Krishna. So, what we are, Arjuna asked certain questions before. So, Krishna is explaining what is field of activities, who is the one who is enjoying, who is the owner of everything, what are we supposed to know from this nature. Like that, he asked a bunch of questions. So, Krishna is explaining now. So, here what is the cause of all the material activities? Krishna is explaining the nature, Prakriti. So we live in cause and effect. It's called a causal ocean. For every cause, there is an effect, and every effect, there is a cause. So it is a cycle. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So if you analyze all the causes and effects, there has to be an original cause which caused all the effects. So everything in this world is a cause and effect. So that set of activities is presented in front of us, just like imagine you gave a bunch of toys to your son, a small boy. Now what he is doing, he's playing with all the toys. Continuously he's playing. So the set of toys is the material nature, Prakriti, presented to the Jiva. So the Jiva is interacting with all the Prakriti, and sometimes he is happy, sometimes he is unhappy. So that's how this whole setup is made. But Krishna says, all the Brahma and all the other demigods, they are concluding, but for all these causes, you are the original cause. Sarva Karana Karanam Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. But beyond all these causes, you are the original cause. Okay, you can mute again. So here, now there are different scriptures which describe different aspects of the material world. Most of the scriptures are talking about dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Because that's how we all want to interact with nature and we all want to be happy all the time. So most of the Vedas are catering to this section of the population, how we can be happy using the Vedas. So every aspect of the creation, the Lord has given somebody as an in charge. He appointed somebody as an in charge. So in this world, the nature, Prakriti is given in charge. Who is the in charge of Prakriti? Parvati, Durga Devi. She is the in charge. So she is like the mother of the entire creation, material creation. But she is also acting under the direction of Krishna. So that is why she is also addressed as Narayani, Bhagavati, Vasudevi, Bhagavati, everything. She is taking instructions from Krishna, and for the pleasure of Krishna, she is conducting her activities here. So she is the mother. And Krishna says another place, this material world, nature, if it is like the mother, then I am like the father who is giving the seed. I am the seed giving father, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So we should not misunderstand that there is confusion. Oh, why is there some place it is said that Durga is the in charge or she is the supreme, and we are saying in Krishna consciousness after reading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the supreme. Is it a contradiction? No, it is not a contradiction. Every portfolio has been handed over to somebody for a certain reason. Like Brahma, the entire mode of passion, he is in charge. Like mode of ignorance, Shiva is the in charge. So without these things, you cannot do creation. Like without Rajoguna, you cannot do creation. So everything you want to create in this world, you need Rajoguna. So even if somebody is a pure Brahmana, but if he wants to have children, he gets married, there has to be a tinge of passion. If there is no passion, he cannot produce children. And the same way, if there is, every day you are working so hard, and if there is no tinge of tamoguna, you cannot sleep. The tamoguna has to put you to sleep, otherwise the body will be tired. So tamoguna has to be there. So just like recycling, when the tree is producing everything, whatever in the nature, whatever is producing, after some time there is an expiry date. That expiry date means it has to rot, it has to disintegrate. That is tamoguna. If that is not there, then just imagine if there is no tamoguna, people won't even die. Imagine what will be the population today. Nobody will die. Because people are dying continuously and people are being born, and that's a very significant role of tamoguna. And that is in charge. That in charge is Lord Shiva. So like that, everything, Indra has a particular role, Surya has a particular role, everybody has a particular role, and they are the supreme in their department. You cannot overrule their way of working. That's how the nature is working. And beyond all of them, Krishna or Vishnu is in charge. He is para Prakriti. He is beyond the material nature. In fact, the jiva, we also are beyond the material nature. But because we got attracted to the material nature, so we became entangled. That is the way the material world works. Just like quicksand. You put your hand once or leg once, no matter how much you try, it will keep getting stuck to you more and more, more and more. That's how material world is designed. The material nature is designed like that. So moment you are attracted to it, it will suck you inside. So, but the jiva, really speaking, has nothing to do with this material nature. So just like you are watching a movie, and in the movie, movie is what? It's just a screen and some light projection on the screen. That's all. But that movie, because you're so much involved in the movie, sometimes the movie, there is humor, you're laughing. Sometimes there is thrill, you're scared. Sometimes there is sadness, you're feeling sorrow. Sometimes people also cry seeing the movie. Nothing happened to them, but they're going through that emotion. Actually, that it is just a light or projected on the screen. It is nothing but what because you're involved in that, sometimes you're going through that emotion. That's all. But otherwise, this material world is also like that. The jiva has no connection with this matter. But because he is so much focused looking into the matter, he is also going through that emotion all the time. So Krishna is telling, all you have to do is turn your focus away from the screen. That's all. Then you will see there is another world. The movie world is only on the screen. If you remove your head and turn your head somewhere else, there is no movie there. Then you will see, oh, I'm of a different nature. That's all it is. That's all is a spiritual world. Immediately the spiritual world is available to you. All your trouble, all your suffering inside the movie only, that is gone. In the movie, somebody is crying. Some movie only something is happening. But if you see, no, nothing is there for me. Oh, here there is nothing actually. Nothing is happening. That is the position of the soul. We are spirit soul. So let's see next look.
What about this? 1 minute. My question is there. Whereas the living entity is the cause of the various suffering and enjoyment. Here he's talking about, he's saying the cause of material activities and effects is nature.
Yeah.
But the cause of suffering and enjoyment is living entity. How do we understand? So we say,
because you're interacting with the matter continuously. So you arrange the matter in certain way, you call it happiness. You arrange the matter in another way, we call it suffering. Like for example, one pile of mud is given to you. Is it happiness? No. But if you convert that pile of mud into a beautiful house, what happened to you now? Wow, happy. So you are only creating happiness, and if you break it down and become matti, oh, then you are so sad. That same matti it is. But you are arranging in one way, beautiful house. Oh, so much happy. We call it home. We celebrate. We throw a party. We call all the people. Griha pravesham. You spend so much money just because you're so happy. You call it a home. But the same thing, demolition company comes and breaks that house. How much suffering it is. It's the same thing. All the ingredients are right there. So we are only creating happiness. We are only creating suffering by interacting with this world. Make sense?
Yeah. So are we thinking mentally? Is that we call something mentally, we connect that with happiness, we connect something with sadness. So on the mental platform, we have made some connections for something to be happy and something.
It's a software. These set of things we put in the bucket of happiness. This set of things we put in the bucket of suffering. So with prolonged conditioning, you can change the bucket. You can change the name of the bucket later to a different bucket. Like for example, Karela. You put it in a bucket of suffering. If you eat Karela, it is suffering bucket. But if you keep on eating every day for whatever reason you changed your habit, and it tastes so bad. Actually, I'm able to drink it nowadays. Karela juice. So now I shift that Karela from the suffering bucket into happiness bucket. Now there is a movement like simple living, high thinking. People want to live in small houses.
Very rich people want to live in small houses.
The small houses. So that small house living, one time you called it suffering. Now you redefined your definition and you call it happiness. So now the small house became happiness for you. So you can change. You can change anything. Okay. It's just all your mental concoction.
Okay, understood.
Okay. Purushaha prakritisto hi.
Purushaha prakritisto hi.
Bhunkte.
Bhunkte.
Prakriti jan.
Prakriti jan.
Gunan.
Gunan.
Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan.
Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan.
Karanam. Gunasanghasya. Sadasad.
Sadasad.
Yoni. Janmashu. Karanam gunasangasya sadasad yoni janmashu.
Karanam gunasangasya sad asad yoni janmasu.
This is a very important sloka. If you can remember just the third line, third and fourth line, that will explain the entire philosophy of karma. How we take birth.
We'll go to the translation. Yeah.
Telugu.
మోయ గారు చెప్తారా? అత్తమా వినిపించటం లేదు.
ఏంటి మీరు చెప్తారా? నేను చెప్పేదాన్ని చెప్పమంటాను. నన్ను భౌతిక ప్రకృతి యందు త్రిగుణములను అనుభవించుచు జీవుడు ఈ విధముగా జీవనము సాగించును. భౌతిక ప్రకృతితో అతనికి గల సంపత్కరమే దీనికి కారణము. ఆ విధముగా అతడు ఉత్తమ అధమ జన్మములను పొందుచుండును. హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.
हिंदी?
जी प्रभु जी। इस प्रकार जीव प्रकृति के तीनों गुणों का भोग करता हुआ प्रकृति में ही जीवन बिताता है। यह उस प्रकृति के साथ उसकी संगति के कारण है। इस तरह उसे उत्तम तथा अधम योनियां मिलती रहती हैं। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। इंग्लिश।
The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, we all have taken birth in a particular household. So, how did that happen? Like, did any one of us choose our parents? Do you have a choice?
No, Prabhuji.
Nobody has choice.
Okay.
But who is making the choice for us?
God.
तुलसी भक्ति और माया.
Krishna is saying right here, we are only making the choice. Here. Karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmashu. ఎలా జరుగుతుంది? జస్ట్ లైక్ బిఫోర్ ఈ ముందు శ్లోకం చూడండి. ఎవరు కాజ్? జీవుడే అన్నిటికీ కాజ్. జీవుడే చేస్తున్నాడు అన్ని. హ్యాపీనెస్, సఫరింగ్ రెండు జీవుడే చేసుకుంటున్నాడు. అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా జీవుడే చాయిస్ చేస్తున్నాడు. కారణం గుణ సంఘస్య అంటే జస్ట్ లైక్ ఎయిర్ ఈస్ వెరీ ప్యూర్. యూ కెనాట్ రియల్లీ కంటామినేట్ ఎయిర్. ఆకాశాన్ని ఎవరైనా పొల్యూట్ చేయగలరా? కానీ ఆకాశంలో మబ్బులు వస్తాయి, మేఘాలు వస్తాయి, ఒక్కొక్కసారి క్లియర్ గా ఉంటది, అన్ని ఉంటది. ఎన్ని వచ్చినా కూడా ఆకాశం ఎప్పుడూ క్లియర్ గానే ఉంటది. ఇట్ ఇస్ క్లీన్. ఒక్కొక్కలా కనిపిస్తుంది. అలాగే ఆత్మ కూడా వెరీ వెరీ శుద్ధమైందే ఆత్మ. కానీ జస్ట్ లైక్ గాలి శుద్ధమైందే, ఎయిర్ ఇస్ వెరీ ప్యూర్. బట్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ ఎ నైస్ రోజ్ గార్డెన్. ద air feels like it is fragrant, but the same air is going on a gutter, garbage. Then the same air feels like horrible smell. కంపు కొడుతుంది. అలాగే మనం జీవుడికి చాయిస్ ఉంది. ఎప్పుడు జీవుడికి చాయిస్ ఉంది. ఎలాంటి గుణ సంఘస్య. గుణం అంటే ఏంటి? త్రిగుణాలే. గుణాలంటే మూడే ఉన్నాయి. సత్వగుణం, రజోగుణం, తమో గుణం. ఏ గుణంతో మనం సంగత్యంలో ఉన్నామో అలాంటి యోనిలోనే మనం పుడతాము. ఆ యోనిలో మనమే వెళ్తున్నాము. సో అలాంటి యోనిలు ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి? 84 లక్షలు. 88.4 million species of yoni is available. So somebody want to eat meat every day he is struggling very hard. So nature is telling, ఎందుకు అంత కష్టపడతావు? I'll give you a nice body like a tiger or a lion. Nicely every day you eat meat. So Krishna is very kind. The nature is software is very good. So don't struggle so much. I'll give you a body. So some people want to every day go into the ocean and slide with that waves. So nature will tell you, why you're taking so much trouble? I'll give you a nice dolphin body. Go and play in the water whole day. So we are making our choices. We can choose how to remain pure, how to remain. So Krishna is explaining, if you make the choice of always wanting to be with Krishna in the association of devotees, Krishna will give you that body like that of Krishna, so that you can always be with Krishna. So that is a choice available to us, and this is what it is. Karanam guna sanghasya. And we might forget, just like we forget, like for example, when you change a body, you forget. మనము చిన్నప్పుడు చిన్న బేబీ బాడీలో ఉన్నాం. ఆ బేబీ బాడీలో ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకేమైనా గుర్తుందా? 5 ఏళ్ళకి 3 ఏళ్ళకి ఏదో ఒకటో రెండో ఐటమ్స్ గుర్తుంటాయి. బట్ వై వి ఫర్గెట్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ దిస్ లైఫ్? వై వి ఫర్గెట్? బికాస్ యు చేంజ్ బాడీ. మొమెంట్ యు చేంజ్ బాడీ, యు ఫర్గెట్. But Krishna is very kind. So Krishna is sitting next to us and he remembers. For each one of us, he remembers. Oh, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. So Krishna remembers and he gives us the next body. This is how you wanted to enjoy. So Krishna gives us the memory. And he is doing that mechanism. Anakatal nunchi mechanism anta Krishna is running it for us. And that is why Krishna explained before, I have all my heads and hands and everywhere. and I'm able to hear every one of you. And you see the next sloka. Interesting how Krishna is telling what he does. Look at that. The first line. Upadrushta Anumanta
Upadrushta Anumanta
Cha
Anumanta
Cha
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 Bharta
Bharta
Bhakta
Bharta Bhokta
Bhokta
Bhukta
Bhatta Bhokta
Maheshwaraha
Maheshwara
Maheshwaraha
Paramatmeti
Paramatma
Paramatmeti
Chapi
Chapi
Api
Yukto
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 Paramatmeti Chapi Yukto
Parma
Paramatmeti Chapi Yukto
Tehesmin
Dehesmin
Tehesmin
Purushaha Paraha
Purushaha
Purusha
Paraha
Paraha
Upadrushta Anumanta Cha
Upadrishta
Upadrushta
Hanumanta
Hanumanta
Cha
Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha
Bharta
Bhakta
Bhokta
Bhokta
Maheshwaraha
Maheshwaraha
Paramatmeti Chapi Yukto
Paramatmeti Chapi
Paramatmeti Chapi
Yukto
Yukto
Dehesmin Purushaha Paraha.
Dehe Yasmin
Tehesmin
Purushaha
Purusha
Para.
Paraha.
This is the translation. Telugu.
నేను చదవనా?
చదువు.
అయినను ఈ దేహమునందు దివ్య ప్రభువును, దివ్య యజమానుడును, పర్యవేక్షకుడును, అనుమతించువాడును, పరమాత్మగా ప్రసిద్ధి నొందినవాడును అగు దివ్య భోక్త మరి ఒకడు కలడు.
హిందీ
మూవీ చదివేస్తుంది డాక్టర్.
हिंदी कौन बोलना चाहेगा?
లేకపోతే నేను చదువుతా.
तो भी इस शरीर में एक अन्य दिव्य भोक्ता है जो ईश्वर हैं, परम स्वामी हैं और साक्षी तथा अनुमति देने वाले के रूप में विद्यमान हैं और जो परमात्मा कहलाते हैं. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा.
Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul.
సో బిఫోర్ ముందు సెకండ్ చాప్టర్ నుంచి ముందు కూడా ఇంకా 13 చాప్టర్లో కూడా ముందు కృష్ణ వాట్ హీ టోల్డ్, ఈ శరీరంలో ఉండేది ఆత్మ. ఆత్మ హీఈస్ ద ఎంజాయర్. జస్ట్ లైక్ మనం కార్ ఉంది, కార్కి ఒక ఓనర్ ఉంటాడు, అలాగే ఆ ఓనర్ ఈజ్ ఎంజాయింగ్ ద కార్. సో ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే సమ్టైమ్స్ ద హౌస్ ఇస్ దేర్. హౌస్, we are renting a house, but there is also owner of the house. Landlord also is there. There are two owners. You are as a tenant, you are the enjoyer right now, but there is a top of you on the top of the tenant there is also owner. He is also present. So like that, the body, there are two people who are sitting. One as an Atma, we are also there, and second one as Paramatma, he is also there. And he's so kind, he's accompanying with every single jiva, every single living entity, no matter human, animal, plant, trees, microbes, everyone, everywhere he's situated. Super soul is also there. And as super soul, he's doing two things. Anumanta, Upadrushta. Anumanta means sanctioning. Upadrushta means overseeing. See, overseeing and permitting. So how do you understand this? Overseeing and permitting. Like for example, sometimes our children sometimes ask some small things. Mummy, I want some chocolate. You'll immediately buy. There is no need to make any restriction. But sometimes the requirement increases. They'll say, no, now he's very small. He's only 5-year-old. He'll say, now I want to buy a big computer. You say, no. You can buy. You have the money also. You can buy. Sometimes you don't have the money. You cannot buy. But let's say you have the money, but you'll say, no, I'm not buying. You're not ready for it. Right? So you are taking a decision as a parent to the child. Sometimes I'll give you, sometimes I'll not give you. You have to wait. You are telling the child. Like that, the super soul also, as Paramatma, he's sometimes telling us, he is seeing everything. Just like Google, he's watching everything. Every click you do, he's watching. But for sanction is coming. When sanction is coming, the Lord is seeing if you have enough capacity to handle it or enough money in terms of your punya to consume it. Only then he is sanctioning it. So it's not that sometimes you hear from these motivational speakers. You just have to decide. If you decide with a strong heart and be very determined, you will get it. No. You will get it. That is definitely a prerequisite. You have to be determined. You have to work very hard. But there is no guarantee it will be sanctioned. Like today, I will decide I want to become president of America. I'll work very hard. I will work 20 hours a day also. Can I become president of America? Definitely not. Because there is much more qualification and the Lord also has to sanction. I want to become the richest man also. Every one of us want to do that. But the Lord has his own criteria to permit it. You can desire it. If you desire it, the Lord will remember it. But when you acquire enough bank balance or punya karma, then the Lord will sanction it. He will sanction. He'll sanction everything. He'll sanction everything. But he's also waiting to see if you have the prerequisites. Everything you only have to acquire. You only have to acquire. There is another extreme of this. If you depend on the Lord completely, the Lord will give anything you want. That is one school of philosophy. So there is some, in a funny way, there is a joke. One guy goes and prays to the Lord every day. Lord, please make me win a lottery ticket. I want to win $1 million. Every day he's asking $1 million. I want to. Every day he's going $1 million. I want. Please, I want to win the lottery $1 million. One day the Lord became so angry. Then he shouted at him, "Idiot! At least you buy one lottery ticket every day before you pray." Right? So that means there is something that you are expected to do also. After you do your work and then you ask, then maybe the Lord will sanction. Without doing your necessary work, you don't put wiring. Wiring pettakunda bulb okkate petti, I want to put the bulb on. Elagadu. But minimum bulb elagaali ante wiring correct ga undali, switch undali, dantlo fuse egiripoyina bulb okati undali, anni correct ga undi tarvata danni nokkite bulb la light vastundi. So sanction of the Lord is also like that.
But in the case of devotees, it's also like that you might have the karma also, you might have the punya also. But sometimes the Lord sees if somebody is getting serious in Krishna consciousness and he really wants to progress in Krishna consciousness, then the Lord will, hold it and make sure that it is good for you. Only then he will sanction. Right? Is that also correct?
That is another thing. Now, there are two scenarios. When you become a devotee, then if you become a real devotee, then there are exceptions. The Lord can make exceptions. What are the exceptions he can make? Suppose in your karma, you are supposed to be a millionaire. But the Lord can see, if I allow this to happen, maybe you will become distracted and you will stop your bhakti. So he'll stop giving you the millions because he's interested in another project for you. That project is to make you a bhakta. So he will stop that in that case. So that is an extreme mercy of the Lord. That is one scenario. Another scenario, now he wants to, the devotee only wants to do everything for Krishna. He's so dedicated, so much interested. He wants to serve his Guru and Krishna, but he does not have necessary karma. So there is a sloka, beautiful sloka in Bhagavad. It says, Mukam karoti vachalam pangulam gayate girim. So he wants to serve the Supreme Lord. Now he's a lame man. By birth he's lame. He cannot walk. But because he wants to serve Krishna, the lame man will be possible to even climb Mount Everest if it is needed. And if he is a dumb person, but he has so much desire to glorify Krishna, if he is dumb, and still he'll be able to write beautiful poetry for Krishna. Sometimes there are somebody who is blind, but the blind person will also be able to see. So Krishna can change the karma of a devotee totally the way he wants it. There is no rules and regulations when it comes to a pure devotee of Krishna. Krishna can change everything. All the rules he can change.
Because he's the controller of the rules. He's made the rules.
He's made the rules, so he can break the rules. So that is why Krishna has another name which is called Rishikesha. Rishikesha ante was a master of all the senses. So that is a different category altogether of a handling the devotee is different category. Our subject matter will be handled in Bhagavatam. Though in Bhagavad Gita, he left it only for regular scenarios. These are all regular scenarios for all of us. This is what he is doing. Overseer means everything that you do, Krishna is recording. Krishna is recording. So it's clear, this sloka?
Yeah.
Actually, 24 is not here, but 24, Krishna explains, we're gone to 26. Krishna explains in 24, let me see. I'll open here. You can see, right?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Somebody can read the translation.
One who English hai. You read.
Okay. Okay. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position.
See, why we should understand the Trigunas, why we should understand the interaction of the Jiva and the Trigunas, Krishna is telling here, like a scientist. If you understand, then you become eligible for liberation. This is the qualification to get liberation. So a devotee is always like a scientist. That's what I was saying. He's like a scientist. That is the reason he has to learn this subject. So now we can go to 26. Anyetva evam.
Anyetva evam.
Ajnanataha.
Ajnanatah.
Shrutvan
श्रुत्वा
Nyebhya
Yebhya
Upashate
upasate.
Shrutvanebhya Upasate
Shrutva
Srutvanyo
anyebhya upasate.
Te api
Te api
ati
Chati
chati
Chati Tharenyati
chati taranti
anyeti
Eva
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 Mrutyum
mrityum
mrityum
Shruti
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 Parayanaha
parayanah
parayanaha
Anyetva evam Agnanataha
अन्ये तु एवम्
anyeti majanantah
Shrutvanebhya Upasate
श्रुत्वान्येभ्य
srutvanyebhya
उपासते
upasate
Te api chati taranti eva
ते
ते
ते अपि चातितरन्ति एव
Mrutyum Shruti Parayanaha.
मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणः
मृत्युश्रुतिपरायणः
Translation Telugu.
మరికొందరు ఆధ్యాత్మిక జ్ఞానముతో పరిచయము లేకున్నను ఇతరుల నుండి పరమ పురుషుని గూర్చి శ్రవణము చేసి అతన్ని పూజింపనారంభింతురు. ప్రామాణిక పురుషుల నుండి శ్రవణము చే ప్రవృత్తి గలవారు ఒకటే వారును జనన మరణ మార్గమును అధిగమించురు.
Can you put the paragraph little down?
వినిపించట్లేదా?
Telugu lo, Hindi lo, it is not clear the last line. Yeah, little bit down. Yeah.
తెలుగులో వినిపించిందా?
వినిపించింది. హిందీ?
Shall I read?
Read.
Okay.
Hemati.
Okay. हरे कृष्णा। ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो यद्यपि आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान से अवगत नहीं होते पर अन्यों से परम पुरुष के विषय में सुनकर उनकी पूजा करने लगते हैं। ये लोग भी प्रामाणिक पुरुषों से श्रवण करने की मनोवृत्ति होने के कारण जन्म तथा मृत्यु पथ को पार कर जाते हैं। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
पारुल माता जी, आप इंग्लिश में रीड करोगे?
जी माता जी। Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Prabhupada very nicely explains Krishna is giving this opportunity to all the sincere souls who want to actually understand him. So many times people think today they call themselves, we are atheists, we are, so many categories they want to put the label on themselves. But when given an opportunity, they are ready to listen and also understand and start practicing to worship the Supreme Lord because of this opportunity of hearing from authority. Authority means from the parampara, from Guru Parampara. If you get this message is Viplavatmakam. It produces that revolution in your heart and they stop, rather they transcend from their sentimentalism to real spiritual understanding. So this transition is given by the Supreme Lord. That is why Krishna, for otherwise there is no need for him to explain 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. to convince Arjuna. He would have told only in one sentence. First of all, Arjuna won't even go into illusion only. But for our sake, Arjuna went into that situation and he started asking questions. All the questions Arjuna is asking is on our behalf. So Krishna is giving this opportunity, and Prabhupada is even more kind, like the devotees of Krishna, who are always wanting to glorify Krishna. And today he has translated all this into English speaking language. So all of us, we are naturally, the whole world is learning English, and there is a transcendental arrangement of the Lord. All the English speakers also are able to understand this message and trying to worship the Lord. And here in this sloka, you see the two important words that you will see. Shrutva nebhya upasate. Upasana means sadhana. Upasana means it is a practice. Upasana means practice. And what is the practice? Shrutvana. Shrutva means to hear. Shrutva upasana. To hear about the Krishna, to hear about anything connected to Krishna, this perfection, if you make your perfection about hearing, because people are all here ready to hear anything. They're hearing all nonsense. Every day, all you have to do is go to our mailbox on a daily basis and we collect the mail. Every day, itna aa jata hai, in 1 week, and all junk mail. Because somebody wants to talk, somebody wants to hear. Somebody wants to talk, but all garbage. So this tendency of talking and hearing is already there. But if you can convert that hearing and upasana for Krishna's names, that's why the acharyas have given us so much instructions how to chant the holy names of Krishna, how to hear the instructions of Krishna. Hundreds and thousands of books are available. But you have to do that from an authorized, a pure devotee only. Otherwise, that effect of transformation, that viplavam from the heart doesn't arise. Otherwise, so many people, nice Bollywood singers, Lata Mangeshkar, all these great singers are there. They can sing beautiful bhajans. But you see, they don't do any parivartana in the heart. It's nice to hear for that much time, but it will not inspire you to give up material association and get sadhu sangha. It doesn't ignite that fire. So only in the association of devotees, this magic will happen. So that association of hearing from the Krishna, about Krishna from the lips of a pure devotee, that is the magic. That magic, hearing also means practicing. Otherwise, just hearing armchair philosophy doesn't take us very far. It's nice. Maybe after some time, prolonged time, it will take much more longer. You don't want to waste one more lifetime. You already have enough time. We have spent and wasted enough time on useless things. Now, we got limited time. We take that limited time is enough. Somebody has only 5 years left to you. Enough. Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days left. That's enough. But use all the time that you have very frugally, very diligently, with a lot of enthusiasm, understanding the value of whatever little you have, use it for Krishna. That's it. We'll become perfect. And that's enough. Don't have to think, oh, I'm already so old. Don't have to think. Whatever little, 1 year also you have, it's enough. We don't know how long we have more. Nobody knows. Somebody might think, oh, I'm only 20 years old. No, you don't know how long you'll live. Nobody knows. So that's the instruction here Krishna is giving. So I'll stop here. Any questions I can take?
Anybody wants to ask any questions? Yeah.
One thing I want to say. Actually, very long back, my father told me that we choose our parents. Of course, from Gita itself. Whatever you were telling now.
Correct.
Same thing.
Karanam guna sangasya.
ఒకసారి అయితే గట్టిగా నీకు తెలీదా మనం మన పేరెంట్స్ ని ఎంచుకుంటామని అంటే ఆయనకి అంత అలవాటు చదవటం దానిలో మీనింగ్ ఆయనకి అర్థమైంది తెలుసు కాబట్టి ఆయన అలా చెప్పగలిగారు అంత స్ట్రాంగ్ వెరీ స్ట్రాంగ్ చాలా మంది ఏంటంటారు we don't know where we'll be going our next life we don't know it's not in our control అని జనరల్ గా that is the statement people give but
Yeah. So the point is, we are making our own choice.
Yeah. So finally, I got this confirmation from you.
Yes. Yes. So the choices we make will take us to the highest next destination. So Krishna is telling, so on what basis you should make your decision? Because you have the choice. So Krishna is saying, you choose me. You choose to come to me. That is the best interest for you. Don't choose some other parent. Why you want to choose some other parent? You choose me to come to me. That is what Krishna is telling. Since you have the power with you, why you want to choose silly things?
అదే ఏంటంటే వేర్ ద కన్సర్న్ ఇస్ దేర్ టువర్డ్స్ గాడ్ మైండెడ్ గా ఉండి భజనలు అవి చేసేవాళ్ళు అవన్నీ అలవాటు ఉన్న ఫ్యామిలీస్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలని కొందరు అనుకుంటారు మేబీ దే ఆర్ బోర్న్ ఇన్ టు సచ్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ ఐ డోంట్ నో
Arjuna asked the question, same question. నువ్వు సపోజ్ యు ఆర్ టెలింగ్ కృష్ణ అన్ని వదిలేసి నన్నే ధ్యానించు అని చెప్తున్నావు బట్ నౌ లెట్ us say this guy, he left material life, material career, so he's a failure in material life. Now let us say this guy is failure in spiritual path also, in the name
90%
of 90% అలాంటి వాడి గతి ఏంటి అని అడుగుతాడు అర్జునుడు.
అదే కదా చెప్పారు అక్కడ అంత్యకాలే ఏంటది అసలు
అది కాదు ఆన్సర్. కృష్ణుడు దానికి ఏం చెప్తాడంటే అది ఫర్ సక్సెస్, నువ్వు చెప్పింది ఫర్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ స్టూడెంట్.
అంతకాలేచ
మామేవ స్మరణ్ ముక్త్వా కళేవరం.
If the person remembers at the time of death.
If the person remembers Krishna at the time of death, you will come to me. That is for a successful student.
But if he remembers something else, he is thinking of something else. That's
then
what
Krishna
he will
is saying, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. So whatever you are thinking at the time of death, that is what you will get in the next life. Correct? So then Krishna is Krishna is telling what happens to you if you are failure both materially and spiritually also. So he is saying Shruti naam Srimate gehe. Shruti ante Srimantulu. Srimatam gehe. Srimantulu ante chala very wealthy families. You can get number one. Either you can get a very wealthy family or they are very pious souls who are completely devoted in their life. Alanti parents నీకు దొరుకుతారు. Either this or that. Ante for example, somebody like Ambani family. Why he got that? Because he already did some tapasya before. So he got that. He got that benefit to take birth there. The problem in that is you can easily get distracted because so much wealth, you forget your spiritual journey. But for a person who got a very serious devotee as parents, why he is more successful? Because Krishna knows this soul is more serious in his journey. So he doesn't need distractions. He needs another good mentor to take him to the next level. So these are the two things. Materially also, if you want to have a beautiful career, ఏంటి maximum నీకు benefit వస్తుంది? You'll become rich, successful, good name, good fame, correct? But you gave up that career for the pursuit of spiritual life. So Krishna is telling as a concession, okay, you left it for me, no? Next life, I'll give you all that wealth. Don't worry. So this is for unsuccessful students. For unsuccessful students, Krishna will give you so much. For successful students, Krishna will give you his own abode.
Okay.
Adi.
So, nice question. A nice discussion. Any other questions, or else we'll stop the class here. And tomorrow, maybe we can have question and answer session only instead of having Bhagavatam. We can have like 1 hour only of, if nobody has questions, we can just chant some slokas of Bhagavad Gita. What do you say?
I was thinking we can start Rudra Geetam to learn.
Or tomorrow? Okay. Okay, then good.
माता जी, हम लोग ट्यूसडे को द्वारकाधीश जी दर्शन करने जा रहे हैं। आप कुछ
Okay.
बताएंगे द्वारकाधीश जी के लिए?
द्वारकाधीश के लिए तो आप बेट द्वारका जरूर जाइएगा। द्वारकाधीश के जो दर्शन होते हैं तो वो लोग आपके सामने ही डेकोरेट करते हैं। अब पता नहीं, मुझे उस
श्रृंगार
टाइम पे
करते
मैं
हैं।
जब 20 साल पहले गई
Even
थी
now it
तो
is same. Even now
it's
it
the
is
same.
same.
They dress in front of you and वहां पे एक चार्ट था जिसमें कृष्णा की पूरी लीनिएज जो है ना उसका चार्ट हमने वहां देखा था। रिमेम्बर वी सॉ दैट द लीनिएज, कृष्णा के बाद उनके बच्चे, उनके बच्चे, उनके बच्चे, और वो पूरा चार्ट वहां था। और वो जो डीटी है, आपको पता है ना, उन डीटी के बारे में मालूम है, राइट? मालूम है या नहीं?
माता जी आप बता दीजिए, आप बता दीजिए।
ये जो डीटी है जो द्वारकाधीश में है, वो डीटी एक्चुअली देवकी की है। देवकी बोलती हैं कि मैंने आपको तो, आई हैव नॉट ड्रेस्ड यू एज अ स्मॉल बेबी। वो तो मैं वंचित रह गई थी। वो सब जो जो बहुत ही क्यूट आप लगते थे तब, वो सब मैंने नहीं देखा है आपको। आपको ड्रेस करना, आपको आपकी सेवा करना। तो भगवान ने अपना ही एक फॉर्म बनाया और उनको वो दिया ताकि वो उनकी रोज सेवा कर सके। और I think there is one more deity. I don't remember what was in Bet Dwarka. There they will tell you that you should do dan, annadan and all that. I don't know. I don't remember so much.
दान होता है माता
Bet,
जी वहाँ।
हाँ वहाँ अन्नदान,
दान।
हाँ अन्नदान, और I don't remember more. हाँ, और वहां पे वो 5 कुंड है। वहां पे एक प्लेस है जो ना द्वारका के, आपने सुना है उसके बारे में? वो रोज सुबह ना सुबह जा सकते हैं और शाम को वो पूरा पानी से भर जाता है। तो आप डे टाइम में जाएंगे वहां पे, और वहां पे 5 कुंड है, मीन्स वेल्स हैं, और उसमें से वो लोग पानी आपको पिलाए।
पांडव
5 पांडव के कुंड, हाँ
Pandava Kund.
हाँ, पांडव कुंड
And
5
there is
है।
also a rock for Ramachandra used for the bridge.
या
The rock which does not sink.
थिंक, वो भी आपको वहां पे दिखाएंगे वो लोग। तो हाँ, व्हाट एल्स वाज द ब्यूटीफुल दर्शन। तो आप पूरा डे नाइट जितने भी दर्शन है ना वो जरूर करना, और वहाँ आरती अटेंड करना, और प्रसादम हो सके तो वहां पे खाना। और वहां पे कई चीजें मिलती हैं जो प्रसाद ना आप उसको स्टोर कर सकते हैं बहुत दिनों तक। ऐसा कुछ लेकर आ सकते हो, और उसको फिर आप द्वादशी के दिन ऐसा प्रसाद, फिर उससे आप ब्रेक कर सकते हो अपना फास्ट। ऐसे सब कर
So
सकते हैं।
wherever you go, any pilgrimage, the whole main point is to hear about Krishna, and
Yeah.
especially the Sthala Mahatya from the devotees there.
Yes.
So you have to find good devotees who can explain to you about the benefit of that place, and that's how you have to engage in chanting and hearing. That is the
Yeah.
reason of going to pilgrimage, and of course, definitely not shopping. That's not the shopping list. Then it says Vayasam Tirtham. Vayasam Tirtham Ushanti Manasa. Meaning, if you go and not take advantage of the holy place, it is just like a donkey or a cow going into a holy river, into the river and take a dip. So there's no big benefit. So like that.
ऐसे ही मतलब कि वहाँ के इस्कॉन का हमने सुना है कि वहाँ पे रुक्मणी देवी है कृष्ण के साथ।
ओके, हम जब गए थे तब अभी मंदिर बना नहीं था वहां पे।
Yeah, it was not there.
So it was not made. I've gone twice actually with my mummy and my masis. Once and then with Prabhu I went. And you can donate over there to the temple. You know, they like clothes or sari or I had donated one sari actually. So you can do something like that because in front of you they dress feels very nice actually. But of course they'll not dress the same cloth that you give them. They might dress it later, but you know, yeah, it's
That's a good
nice actually. Laces वो लोग सामने सामने वो लोग ना लेस वो स्टिच नहीं होता है ड्रेस स्टिच नहीं होता है, कपड़ा होता है और लेस होती है, उसको आपके सामने सामने वो लोग पता है ब्यूटीफुल डेकोरेशन करेंगे भगवान की, बहुत ही सुंदर होता है। सो इट्स रियली आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर। या सो प्लीज वहां पे हमारा भी प्रणाम और
जी जी
भगवान को कहिएगा कि हमको भी थोड़ी सी भक्ति दे बस यही है हमको चाहिए,
वही चाहिए माता जी,
वो चाहिए हमको। यू आर वेरी लकी। कब जा रहे हैं आप?
हम लोग ट्यूसडे मॉर्निंग जा रहे हैं माता जी।
वंडरफुल, कार्तिक के महीने में जा रहे हैं तो यू कैन डू दामोदर आरती, आप गा सकते हो शाम के समय वहां पे। आई डोंट थिंक वहां पे मंदिर में गा सकते, इस्कॉन का टेम्पल जो होगा उसमें तो होगा ही, वहां पे दामोदर आरती होगी वहां पे। पर या इट्स वेरी नाइस एक्चुअली, वेरी
वहाँ पे
नाइस।
गोवर्धन पूजा बहुत अच्छी होती है, इसलिए
ओह
14 को गोवर्धन पूजा है, तो वहाँ होटल सारे बुक हैं।
ओह वाओ, ओह फिर आपको मिला रूम?
हाँ मिला माता जी, सब
ओके,
कृष्ण कृपा चल रही है।
वेरी गुड। मेरी एक फ्रेंड है वो यहाँ से, एक्चुअली मैंने उनको कहा था वो जाने वाली थी तो मैंने उनको कहा था कि सब आरती वारती देखना, तो वो जब गए तो उनको उनको पता नहीं था एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम होने वाला था और उनकी मदर सिक हो गई, तो वो हॉस्पिटल में उनकी माँ को लेकर गए, तो वहां पे डॉक्टर को ही बोल रहे थे आप कहीं जा रहे हो आज शाम को, जा रहे हो ना मंदिर? तो बोला क्यों, क्या है? बोला आज स्पेशल प्रोग्राम है। तो शी वाज सो फॉर्चुनेट कि भाई समहाउ और द अदर कृष्णा ने उनको बुलाया उस प्रोग्राम के लिए। शी वाज वेरी हैप्पी। तो यू नो जो भी प्रोग्राम होते हैं यू शुड अटेंड इट बिकॉज यू नो धाम है, धाम की तो महिमा तो वैसे भी है। हाँ, एंड चैंट मोर, you know, I remember we chanted 50 rounds I think when we were in the dham. So chant, if the more you chant the better in dham, and that also Kartik ka mahina hai to even you know very great, very nice, very nice. ठीक है, okay, तो we should stop here and we will I'm not
I
able
put
to
the
mute
sloka
anyone
in the
actually. Huh?
put the sloka in the chat.
Yeah, and we can chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Rama Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare।
Hare हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की
जय
भगवद गीता पाठ की
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की
जय।
All glories to the assembled
हरे
devotees.
कृष्णा,
All glories to the assembled
हरे
devotees.
कृष्णा,
All glories and glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
all glories to
All
Srila
glories to Srila
Prabhupada।
Prabhupada.
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च च
Yasacha
कृपा
kripa
सिन्धुभ्य एव
sindhubhya
च
cha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
patitanam
वैष्णवेभ्यो
pavanebhyo
नमो
vaishnavebhyo
नमः।
namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। असेंबल सारे भक्तों की जय। हम कल मिलेंगे तो प्रभु कह रहे हैं कि भाई रुद्र गीत वो चालू करना चाहते हैं तो आप प्लीज ज्वाइन होइएगा। हम लोग शिव जी के जो ब्यूटीफुल श्लोकास है वो रीड करेंगे और सीखेंगे। हरे कृष्णा देन।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे
गुड
कृष्णा।
नाइट एवरीवन। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
हरे
Have a
कृष्णा।
wonderful day.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Good night to all.